So, it ain't about the money, chat. It's about the girl you have with you. She brings value to me. She makes me money, and she makes her own money. So, if we gonna say she a gold digger, make sure you say I'm a gold digger too. Make sure you say I'm using her too, because she got money. She been.
Imagine signing a $46 million NFL contract at just 22 and losing it almost overnight. That's exactly what happened to rookie sensation Travis Hunter. His girlfriend, Lyanna Line, allegedly drained his accounts through luxury cars, mansions, and a lifestyle so over the top it left even financial experts stunned. Red flags were everywhere, but Travis ignored them all. Now, whispers of a potential $40 million divorce settlement are making headlines, and his financial future hangs by a thread. How did it all go so wrong so fast? Stay tuned, because we're breaking down every shocking detail that led to one of the most foreseeable disasters in sports history. Travis Hunter is left stunned, watching his fortune vanish almost overnight, and is pointing fingers directly at his girlfriend. From extravagant shopping sprees to reckless choices that left onlookers shaking their heads, the situation is far messier than anyone imagined. Allegedly, she drained his accounts, leaving Travis scrambling to make sense of it all. The warning signs were there, glaring for everyone else to see, but somehow, Travis missed them entirely. This could easily rank as one of the most foreseeable financial disasters in sports history. The shocking part? People saw it coming from a mile away while Travis seemed completely blind, perhaps blinded by love, or something even deeper. Either way, he didn't notice the financial train hurtling straight toward him. At just 22, Travis Hunter, a rookie sensation, heading to jaw-dropping 4-year deal worth $46.65 million with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, his story serves as a stark reminder. Generational wealth can disappear if you're not keeping a close eye on every single dollar. This isn't just another tale of a young athlete splurging on flashy cars and designer bling. Far from it. This is a cautionary blueprint showing exactly how letting emotions take the wheel can completely override financial sense, and leave even the biggest fortunes disappearing in the blink of an eye.
I did 300K in my mom's house, my car, Leona car, my car, 2 boats. That's just 2 boats. That is 635K.
At the eye of this financial hurricane is his girlfriend, Lyanna Line, whose spending habits have become infamous, though certainly not for anything admirable. Rumors swirl about her lifestyle, painting it as almost legendary, but for all the wrong reasons. Hunter's story began like so many in the sports world, a talented young man from modest beginnings suddenly in possession of more money than he ever imagined. But what sets his downfall apart, and makes it almost heartbreaking, is the methodical way his wealth slipped away. The depletion wasn't random. It was so calculated that some are even speculating whether this could have been orchestrated from the start. Let's take it back to the very beginning, because understanding how it all started makes the story feel even more deliberate. Travis and Lyanna first crossed paths as teenagers in Georgia. She was 19 at the time. Here's the twist that should have raised alarms immediately. She ignored Travis's DMs for 2 whole months because he already had a girlfriend. On the surface, that seems respectable, right? But that small detail is exactly where the story starts to feel off. What happened next? That's when the red flags began popping up like giant warning signs on a NASCAR track. And honestly, it's a familiar script in the sports world. Young athletes suddenly thrust into the spotlight, with every move scrutinized yet somehow still blind to potential danger. The moment Travis became single, Lyanna went all in. The timing was almost too perfect, too convenient. It had the feel of something carefully staged. When you line up the timeline of their romance alongside Hunter's meteoric rise, the pattern becomes crystal clear. Honestly, it's the kind of sequence that should make any young star, or their family, lose sleep at night. They made it official in February 2022, right as Travis made headlines by transferring to Colorado under the legendary Deion Sanders. This wasn't just any transfer. It thrust him into the national spotlight, complete with endorsement deals, nil income, and NFL scouts tracking his every move. And that's exactly when the financial games began. But this wasn't a case of a few casual splurges. No, this was money bleeding at a scale that could make even seasoned financial advisors pause. The spending frenzy was so extreme, it could make even the wildest lottery winner turn red with embarrassment. And it started almost immediately, with no pause or second thought. For their wedding in May 2025, Travis gifted Lyanna a custom black Mercedes-Benz AMG G63 Brabus 800, a roaring machine valued anywhere between $200,000 and $500,000. But this wasn't just a thoughtful wedding present, it was a bold, almost theatrical statement. Money didn't matter. and Travis seemed willing to spend whatever it took to keep his bride happy, no matter the long-term consequences. And that was only the appetizer. The real extravagance came shortly after. The couple snapped up a $3.275 million mansion in Jacksonville just weeks post-wedding. No easing in, no slow climb into wealth, straight to the penthouse. Because apparently, proving love meant spending at the highest level, with zero hesitation. For Travis, luxury seemed to outweigh financial security. And the kicker? They did it all with absolutely no prenup in place. None. "I love this girl," Travis admitted openly. "She never stops." There are some women who always need to play the victim. When renowned divorce attorney James Stone caught wind of the situation, he was alarmed. So much so that he publicly offered free prenuptial agreements to the entire 2025 NFL draft class, citing the Hunter saga as the ultimate cautionary tale. And believe me, it gets even uglier from here. Much, much worse. The deeper you dig into the timeline of gifts and spending, the more shocking it becomes. This wasn't just a wedding splurge or a one-off display of generosity, it was a non-stop outflow of cash that started early in the relationship and never let up. Hunter had already gifted Lionel a Tesla Model X, and in return, she surprised him with a Ram 1500 TRX worth over $140,000. At first glance, it might seem like an even exchange, but when you dig deeper into the numbers, the whole picture shifts, and the reality of this financial setup becomes glaringly obvious. Hunter even admitted on stream that Lionel was buying her own cars before their relationship got serious and that she contributed to parts of their lifestyle. Sounds fair on the surface, right? But when you step back and consider the full context, when you step back and look at it, a 22-year-old athlete with a contract worth tens of millions, and a woman who, from the very start, seemed to be playing a carefully calculated game, the real question becomes impossible to ignore: who's truly benefiting here, and who's left paying the bill?
The real reason Travis sat in my DM for 2 months is because he DM'd me when he had a girlfriend, and her name was in his bio, so I instantly knew he had a partner. So I exited the message and we sat there until he was single. I don't do home wrecking. I'm not a side piece. I don't stand for any of those things. I support women, so I would never do that to another woman.
And of course, it didn't stop at cars and houses. Once you equate love with dollar signs, the appetite for luxury only grows. After the wedding, the couple jetted off to Turks and Caicos for their honeymoon, indulging in private beaches, yacht rides, spa treatments, and high-end resorts. The total bill? Over $20,000. For most people, that's a down payment on a home. For Travis, it was just another Tuesday. But here's the part that should alarm anyone watching his financial future: the mindset behind all this spending. When people started pointing out glaring red flags, when seasoned voices warned the situation was hurtling toward disaster, Hunter brushed it off. He even joked about being a gold digger himself, claiming Lionel earns her own income as an influencer. That playful denial made the danger even clearer. Let's be real, if someone is burning through your money faster than you can earn it, and your only defense is, well, they make their own money too, the game is already over. It's like watching a hurricane approach and choosing to ignore the warning signs. That's like insisting your house isn't on fire just because you've got a garden hose out back. The logic crumbles the second you take a closer look. The clearest warning sign came when Stephen A. Smith, who has witnessed this same type of tragedy unfold with young athletes for decades, stepped in. He didn't just focus on the finances, he zeroed in on the relationship dynamics that were obvious to everyone but Travis. The red flags were flashing like neon signs in Times Square. Multiple celebrities weighed in, practically pleading with Travis to wake up. Bow Wow said, "I'm not going to tell you what to do, but open your eyes, man." Des Bryant sounded the alarm as well. But the loudest, most chilling warning came from Dr. Umar Johnson, who cut straight through the noise to highlight the risks Travis was blind to. Dr. Umar Johnson didn't mince words. Wake up before she takes half of your money. And now, every warning from that chorus of voices has proven eerily accurate, growing sharper and more prophetic with each passing month. The financial cracks began appearing before Hunter even stepped onto an NFL field. Reports revealed that their lavish lifestyle was being sustained by his signing bonus and endorsement deals, a classic recipe for disaster, spending tomorrow's money before it even exists. This trap has claimed countless athletes over the years, regardless of how much talent or paper wealth they had. It's the same cycle that destroys careers and drains bank accounts. The dangerous belief that money will always keep flowing, paired with relentless pressure to maintain a flashy, high-profile lifestyle. Maintaining a lifestyle that can't be sustained, while having a partner who collects all the rewards, even if the athlete's future gets wrecked in the process, is a recipe for disaster. What we're about to uncover shows that the early warning signs were just the trailer, the opening act, for a full-blown financial catastrophe of epic proportions. What came next would have even the most seasoned financial advisors slamming the panic button in sheer terror. This is where the meltdown truly begins. If you thought the first round of spending was outrageous, if you thought the warning signs were glaring, buckle up. The reality check hit like a freight train overloaded with unpaid bills and unrelenting pressure. What unfolds here is a masterclass in how NFL millions, even tens of millions, can vanish when caution takes a backseat. Millions, yes, even tens of millions, can vanish in the blink of an eye when you're not keeping a close eye on every dollar. Live like money grows on trees and swipe cards have no limits, and disaster isn't just possible, it's inevitable. The first real crack in the fairy tale appeared when whispers emerged about Travis's reaction to his rapidly shrinking bank account. Here's the jaw-dropper. Less than a year into his pro career, just months after signing that staggering $46.65 million deal, Travis was already showing clear signs of financial strain. A young man who should have been set for life was suddenly scrambling, and that's when it became obvious something was fundamentally, deeply broken. The reality check didn't hit as a single blow, it arrived in relentless waves. Tsunami after tsunami crashed down, each one more devastating than the last, leaving a trail of chaos in its wake. And at the heart of it all was the signing bonus everyone assumed would secure his future forever. On paper, Hunter's contract came with a $30.6 million signing bonus, a figure that screams generational wealth, the kind families dream about for generations. But here's the harsh reality the public rarely sees. Signing bonuses don't arrive in one lump sum. They are sliced, distributed over time, and Uncle Sam takes a hefty portion first. After federal and state taxes, agent fees, and every other deduction imaginable, that $30.6 million quickly shrank to roughly $15 to $16 million in actual take-home cash. Still an enormous payday, no doubt, but far from the eye-popping number it first appeared to be. And when you're burning through money at the pace Travis and Lionel were, even that reduced sum can disappear faster than anyone anticipates. When you're blowing through millions like it's pocket change, even $15 million can disappear faster than anyone could imagine. That kind of wealth should set someone up for life, if it's managed wisely. But with Travis and Lionel, money wasn't managed, it was spent recklessly, treated as limitless, and every impulse had to be fulfilled immediately. The result? Even a fortune that should last decades evaporates in no time. Let's break it down. And brace yourself, the numbers are staggering. The Jacksonville mansion alone? $3.275 million. The Mercedes wedding gift? Anywhere between $200,000 and $500,000. The Tesla he bought her earlier? Another $100,000. Easy. Add a lavish, no-expense spared wedding and a honeymoon topping $20,000, and you're starting to see just how quickly the cash can vanish. Add it all up, and we're already looking at nearly $4 million gone. And that's just the flashy stuff the public sees. It doesn't even touch the day-to-day spending. The jewelry, designer outfits, private trips, five-star dinners, constant first-class flights, the full luxury superstar lifestyle. All of this happening while Travis is still on a rookie contract, barely even tapping into the real money yet. And here's where it goes from worrying to downright terrifying, a financial nightmare that could keep even experts like Dave Ramsey awake at night. Sources close to the couple reveal that Travis himself began panicking as he watched his wealth vanish. According to DJ Academics, who has been following the saga closely, the warning signs were impossible to ignore, but the reality had already started sinking in for Hunter. Sources close to the situation reveal that Travis was breaking down under the immense financial pressure. The breaking point came when he finally did what he should have done from day one, actually looked at the numbers. He sat down, tallied the receipts, and confronted the staggering reality of how much was leaving his accounts compared to what was coming in. The results were brutal. The numbers were so lopsided they left him in shock. Reports indicate he immediately scheduled urgent meetings with financial advisors, and the spreadsheets they presented were nothing short of terrifying, enough to snap any millionaire out of denial. And here's the cruel twist: Travis is still on his rookie deal. His biggest paydays haven't even hit yet. His future earnings hinge entirely on staying healthy, performing at peak levels, and avoiding the injuries and pitfalls that have derailed countless other promising careers. And now, Travis is burning through money as if the future is guaranteed, when in reality, nothing in the NFL ever is. Sure, He'll be eligible for a massive second contract in a few years, the kind of deal that could secure his life for good. But here's the harsh reality. If the spending doesn't stop, if the financial bleeding continues unchecked, he might not even reach that payday with a single dollar left in the bank. Picture this, a millionaire on paper, yet living as if one wrong swipe could plunge you into poverty. That's the precarious, tragic path he's headed down. And the psychological toll? It's impossible to ignore. Friends and family noticed the change immediately. The once confident young man now seemed weighed down, consumed by financial stress. Multiple insiders reported that Travis appeared genuinely anxious about money, a shock to anyone considering the astronomical size of his contract. But the moment that truly exposed the cracks came when Lyanna posted a crying video online. Speculation immediately erupted that her tears were tied to financial pressures within their marriage. The timing couldn't have been more revealing, just 2 months after their May 2025 wedding. That emotional breakdown sent one. Reality was crashing into their fairy tale far sooner than anyone anticipated. From the outside, the situation only looked more alarming. A toxic cycle seemed to be taking hold. Travis constantly showering her with extravagant gifts and luxury experiences, while she came to expect them not just as indulgences, but as the bare minimum to sustain the relationship. That kind of pressure can drain even the largest fortune dry. The breaking point came when Travis finally faced his finances head-on. What he discovered was devastating. At their current pace, he would be in serious financial trouble before his rookie deal even ran its course. No amount of wishful thinking or clever accounting could make the numbers add up. Here's the chilling reality that too many young stars ignore. The average NFL career lasts just over 3 years. That's it. Even elite talents like Travis are constantly at risk. One injury, one slump in performance, one unlucky break, and everything can vanish overnight. The window to secure lasting wealth is short, and his is closing faster than he even realizes. The fact that Travis was already stressing about money in his very first year should have been a blaring alarm, not just for him, but for everyone in his circle who claimed to care about his long-term future. The true depth of the mess became clear when Hunter finally started confronting reality. Sources say he began holding serious, no-nonsense discussions about budgeting and financial planning, conversations that should have taken place long before he handed over his first NFL paycheck to a luxury car dealer. The change in his mindset was unmistakable. The once confident, upbeat Travis now showed visible cracks, stress etched across his face. Friends and family didn't hesitate to connect it directly to money troubles, because, let's be honest, nothing else explained it. When a 22-year-old millionaire is panicking about money instead of celebrating his success, it's a clear signal that something has gone catastrophically wrong. And things only got darker because Lyanna didn't seem the least bit fazed. While Travis was reportedly battling panic attacks over their spending, her social media painted a completely different story: lavish outfits, exotic trips, and endless displays of luxury, as if nothing was amiss. That glaring disconnect only turned his pressure cooker up even hotter. This wasn't happening in isolation. The financial stress was colliding with his football career. Imagine trying to chase greatness on the field while privately drowning in financial chaos off it. That combination has ruined countless athletes before, a pattern that's all too familiar in the world of high-stakes sports. But as serious as the meltdown already was, it only paved the way for something far more devastating. Once divorce rumors began circulating, the stakes skyrocketed. By July 2025, just 2 months after their glamorous May wedding, whispers spread that Travis and Lyanna's marriage was already on shaky ground. Whether these rumors were tied to actual legal filings or just heavy speculation didn't matter, the damage was already done. The mere hint of divorce forced Travis to finally face a brutal financial reality he'd been dodging for months. And his reaction? Exactly what you'd expect from a young man realizing he may have been financially manipulated by the person he trusted most. Reports suggested Lyanna could potentially walk away with half of Travis Hunter's assets, and here's the kicker: they had no prenuptial agreement whatsoever. That absence left him exposed, with nothing legally shielding his fortune. That single detail transformed an already messy situation into a full-blown financial nightmare waiting to explode. Let me break it down. Splitting assets down the middle could put the $3.275 million mansion, the fleet of luxury cars, the high-end jewelry, investments, and potentially even a portion of his future earnings on the chopping block. The impact? It could utterly dismantle his long-term wealth and financial security. One viral post even suggested Lyanna might pursue a jaw-dropping $40 million in a potential divorce settlement. Let that sink in. $40 million. That's nearly his entire rookie contract gone before taxes and agent fees. Whether that figure was exaggerated or not hardly matters. The fact that numbers this extreme were being tossed around in connection with a marriage that had lasted just months underscores just how precarious Travis's financial situation had become. That single detail transformed an already messy situation into a full-blown financial nightmare waiting to explode. Let me break it down. Splitting assets down the middle could put the $3.275 million mansion, the fleet of luxury cars, the high-end jewelry, investments, and potentially even a portion of his future earnings on the chopping block. The impact? It could utterly dismantle his long-term wealth and financial security. One viral post even suggested Lionel might pursue a jaw-dropping $40 million in a potential divorce settlement. Let that sink in, $40 million. That's nearly his entire rookie contract gone before taxes and agent fees. Whether that figure was exaggerated or not hardly matters. The fact that numbers this extreme were being tossed around in connection with a marriage that had lasted just months underscores just how precarious Travis's financial situation had become. The spending had been so over the top, so relentless, and so reckless that Travis Hunter's actual liquid wealth was just a fraction of what everyone believed. The emotional toll was immense. Friends and family described it as life-altering. He entered a phase where he questioned everything: his marriage, his financial decisions, even his own judgment. For a young man who had once carried himself with unwavering confidence, who always trusted his instincts, this sudden wave of self-doubt was heartbreaking to watch. What made it worse was the painful realization that countless people had warned him. Red flags had been waving right in front of him, and he had ignored them all. Looking back at advice from Stephen A. Smith, Bo Wow, Dr. Umar Johnson, and others, Travis reportedly admitted to close friends that he should have listened. Stephen A.'s warning about not letting relationship drama derail his football career now sounded eerily prophetic. What followed was an expensive, but essential, crash course in financial reality. Travis was forced into a crash course in money management, lessons he should have learned long before millions started flying out the door. Reports say he sat down with financial advisors, diving into asset protection, smart investments, and the realities of wealth preservation. It was an expensive education, costing him millions he'll never get back, but at least it came before a total collapse. His story now serves as a glaring cautionary tale for every young athlete who suddenly wakes up with more money than they know what to do with. It proves that financial literacy isn't optional when millions are on the line, and that sometimes the people closest to you aren't protecting you, they are profiting from you. Most importantly, the Travis Hunter saga is a stark reminder of how fast NFL money can disappear when you aren't paying attention, asking the hard questions, or shielding yourself from manipulation. And in the end, the only question that remains is, will others learn from his mistakes before it's too late? So, after all the spending, stress, and heartbreak, the big question remains: did this wake-up call come in time to secure Travis's financial future, or is the damage already done? Thanks for tuning in. If this story gave you pause, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.